St. John Baptist Church.
The church that integrates faith with living.
James chapter 5. There you go. Amen. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. And all that is within me, bless his soul. Amen. James chapter 5. We're just going to uplift one verse today. Brother Jackson is written and recorded in James chapter 5. Just one verse. I'm going to tell you this. The introduction going to be long, but the sermon going to be short. James chapter 5. When you find it, say amen. We're going to commence and conclude at verse 12. Look what it says. But above all, my brothers, do not swear, either by heaven or by earth, or any other oath, but let your yes be yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
He means let your yea be yea, and your no be no, so that you may not fall under condemnation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Still want to talk about liar, pants on.
My.
Liar.
Preach it, sir.
On fire.
Come on, Doc. All right now.
For the subtitle, I just simply want to tell you this. Stop lying.
All right. All right. All right.
We got to do some favor for me. Turn to your neighbor. Neighbor, stop lying.
Yes, sir.
Because we live in a land of liars, don't we?
All right now.
See, like everybody.
Yeah.
In the White House,
All right.
to the schoolhouse,
All right.
to the church house,
Come on now.
to your house, is filled with liars.
Break it down now.
Many of us love to simply lie. We live in a land of liars. But many of us lie in many different ways.
Come on.
Because many of us are what we call white liars. You know what a white lie is? That's what you tell when the TXU or somebody calls trying to collect on your bill and your child picks up the phone. Tell them I'm not here. Liars. We live in a land of liars. Some of us are white liars. Simple lies that we just don't want to tell the truth.
Yeah.
We tell somebody that, you know, do I look good in this dress? White liars. But you know what? Some of us are not just white liars. Some of us, watch this, ladies and gentlemen, some of us are what we call broken promise liars. You know how it is. You tell your child, I'm going to take you somewhere. And you never take them. I'm going to be at your football game. Husbands promise things, I'll take care of it when I get home. And it never gets done. Wives lie. They're broken promise lies. You promise to do something and you don't do it. Ladies and gentlemen, you are a liar. Can I tell you, it happens even in the church.
All right.
Can I go ahead and lose all my friends?
Go ahead.
Say, yeah, I'll serve.
My.
You sign your name on the list. Liars. Never show up. People can't count on. You say you're going to be there. You know, a broken promise liar. Would you believe that there's a place in England that's called an annual competition, ladies and gentlemen? They call it the world's biggest liar. They gather people all around. And you got just a few minutes to tell your biggest lie. And the reality is, people win money based upon their life. But Brother Brooks, would you realize that even in the biggest liar competition, politicians and lawyers are not allowed? Because politicians and lawyers are the biggest liars. So they're immediately not able to be involved in the competition. But I would suggest, Brother Bruce Davis, not only politicians and lawyers, some preachers need to be exempt from being in the world's biggest liar competition. Some parishioners, some church leaders, some church members can even enter into that competition. But the reality, ladies and gentlemen, we live in a land of liars. White liars, broken promise liars. But you know what? That's not all the kind of lie there is. Some of us are exaggerated liars. You paint the picture that's larger than life, and you know you're exaggerating. That's like the fisherman. Every time he tells a story of catching a fish, the fish gets bigger and bigger and bigger. But he told it so long and so much, you seem like he caught Moby Dick himself. Because we live in a land of exaggerating liars. Question is on the table. What kind of liar are you? Are you a white liar? Are you an exaggerated liar? Are you the broken promise liar? There's some people that are fabrication liars. That is, you tell lies that you know are lies. Say that. You spread gossip. You share information you know is not true. You don't check, you don't verify. You simply pass it on. You know that it's not true. You are a fabrication liar. Some of us are deceptive liars. In other words, we tell the truth, but not the whole truth. We slip things in that we know are not necessarily true. The person can verify that it's false, but the intent is to deceive. You try to give an impression. You try to make people think that it's true. You create a false impression. Some of us are compulsive liars. We lie when we don't even have to lie. Just constantly lie about everything. Now, people can't even believe anything you say, because everything you say, everything that comes out of your mouth is a lie. A compulsive lie. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? There's some folk that what my grandmother called the bold-faced. They will look you dead in your eye. My grandmother said they can fix their lips to look at you in your eye and tell you a lie. No consequence. James in our text helps us. Because you know what he tells these people as he closes out this letter? He simply wants to tell them this: stop lying. Y'all gonna win, y'all mad? I don't care if it's a compulsive liar, stop it. If it's a broken promise lie to your wife, to your friends, to the church, stop it. If it's a lie that seems like a white lie, you know you didn't do that, you know you didn't make that thing on when you lied on your taxes. Now notice I didn't give a 1 amen. That's lying. You know you didn't do that. And watch this. Just simply stop lying. The word is that they had developed a habit of lying. And James says this, before I close out this word, if you want to be a person of integrity, you need to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Can I just help somebody today? Because many of us lied even this morning. And he helps us. He said, James said, what I want you to do, church, is stop lying to one another. Well, it's more than this text on this side. Because he lets us know in this text, he says, above all, my brothers, do not swear. Y'all see that in the text? He says, above all, and we've already talked a lot about the tongue through the book of James. We talked about how the tongue is a fire. It can set ablaze a forest. It's destructive. But he says, even above that, stop lying. He talks about the tongue even among the preachers and the teachers. They say that you cannot put a bridle on your tongue. If anyone that doesn't offend in word is a perfect man, even to control his whole body. But James said, even above that, stop lying. He also talks about the tongue, the bitter and fresh water try to come from the same source. He said that's not possible. Look how, but with the tongue, when we speak to one another, we have bitter and fresh water coming from the same place. But James said, even above that, stop lying. He said, do not swear. But what does he mean by swearing? Now, he ain't talking about cussing. Now, that don't mean you can cuss now. But what he said is, do not swear. Now, what does that mean? He said, it has the idea of taking oaths. Now, see, we take oaths all the time. When you go to court, they say you raise your right hand. And they say this, do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You take oaths all the time. The president takes an oath. In January, when they finally elected, they take the oath of office. So do you promise as a president of the United States to protect us, to go by the Constitution and protect us from domestic and foreign invasion? Yeah, you take an oath. We're used to oaths. But James says in this context, he's not saying don't take oaths, but he's saying there's a connection between oath taking and truth telling. Let me help somebody. Because here's what they would do. They had developed a pattern of swearing and taking oaths. It's an old Jewish concept that you would take an oath, and that oath would either affirm or confirm the truth of what you said. What you do, you take an oath to affirm or confirm what you just said. We have to take an oath. But he's saying here is that when you talk about oath and swearing, there's sometimes, even in this text, there's something that they thought you had to take an oath. Some oaths were binding, you had to do it. And some oaths were non-binding. In other words, Brother Thompson, if you swear or take an oath by earth, that's not binding. But if you take an oath and you invoke the name of God, that means that's binding and you have to do it. That kind of mentality had crept into the church. And now they were all Jewish, they were having the same mentality of either swearing to confirm what they said, of swearing to affirm.
Well,
And James says this. Here's what I want you to do. Stop doing that. What do you mean, James? He said, do not swear. Stop swearing. Number one, by heaven. Y'all see that in the text? Heaven is what you call in the poetic language, it's a figure of speech. Because it's not talking about the place of heaven. It's talking about the person in heaven. Y'all with me? So when we use the term heaven, it's also used as a figure of speech. It's not about a place. It's about a person. Well, let me go ahead and help you something. Because you remember when Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is at hand? He's not about a place you go into when you die. Where you're going to be an angel flying around with a heart. He's talking about God himself. Watch this. When he talks about don't lay up yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust does corrupt, nor thieves break in and steal, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven. Now wait a minute. Heaven cannot be just a place we go to when we die. Because Jesus knows that place we go to when we die, and that is not what he's talking about, because in heaven, you don't need no gold or silver. We all know with that the streets are paved with gold. And so when Jesus said, don't lay up yourself treasures on earth where moth and rust does corrupt, or thieves break in and steal, but lay up for yourself treasures in heaven. You know what he's talking about? He ain't talking about lay up gold in heaven. God don't need no gold. God don't need no silver. God don't need your little cheap suit you got here. He just mark up. But what he's talking about, lay up treasure in God. So what he said, here's the thing. He said, when you swear, don't swear and bring God's name into the situation.
all right now.
Let me go ahead and make it plain.
Go ahead. Fix it.
Let me make it 21st century.
Go ahead.
Because we do the same thing. When we say something or tell somebody something, I swear on God. Y'all know we do that, don't we? Did you do it? No, I swear before God I didn't do it. That's what James is talking about. You bring God into it. And watch this. You even bring God into your life.
Yes, sir. Come on, make it plain.
We talk about the Lord told me and spoke in my spirit. Just lying. Manipulating folk.
Come on now.
James says, watch this, stop it. Stop bringing God's name into your mess. He said, when you say, I swear for God, and you say, on God. James says,
Come on down.
liar, liar, pants on fire. Stop lying. He said, not only stop bringing God's name to it, because even in oaths in Leviticus, he talks about the reality is that many people will invoke the name of God in their oath. But the reality is that many people swear on God in heaven. But there's also people that swear on things on earth.
Yes, sir.
Don't swear by heaven or by earth. Let me go and make it plain.
Fix it.
I swear on my mama's grave. That's on earth. I swear on a stack of Bibles. What you need a stack of Bibles for? One Bible ain't enough. That's on earth. Watch this. stick a needle in my eye. Heard that little kids. The reality is, ladies and gentlemen, when you swear by heaven, God, when you swear by earth, your mama's grave, stack of Bibles, James says, what that shows you, if you got to do all of that, if you got to strengthen your statement with a swearing or an oath, James said you got a lifestyle of telling lies. That's why you got to do that. Right. He says because people can't trust the weight of your word. Can I just go ahead and in these last 5 minutes I got? Just encourage somebody today or correct. James says, if you tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, it does not need to be propped up by providence.
Yes, sir.
You got that right. All right.
You ain't got to mention the name of God.
All right.
You ain't got to swear on God. You got to swear on Jesus Christ because you become a man of your word. When you make a promise, you keep it. When you tell a child you're going to take them somewhere, you take them. When you promise your wife and your husband that this is going to happen, you do it. When you come and you tell somebody something in the church you say you're going to do, be a person of your word. Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. It don't need to be propped up by providence. But then you got to strengthen your statement or put weight to your word. You know what that says? Is that you have an integrity problem. He said because people can't count on you. People can't trust you. Your child can't trust you. Because you don't do what you say. Your husband or wife can't trust you. Because of white lies, the deceptive lies. Your parents can't trust you as a child. You're a liar. I went home one time when my kids was packing. And I was working all day and it was during the summertime. And they were in the house just playing games outside. I came home. A big hole is in my wall. We say about that? Oh, yeah. I said, who did this? Both of them.
All right. All right.
Told me a bold-faced lie.
All right.
Back in that, you used to get them little powdered donuts from Miss Bad. Like powdered donuts. And my kids know that they're not supposed to eat any kind of sweet before dinner. I go, the donut's gone. What happened to these donuts? Did y'all eat these donuts? No. White powder all over it. Lying. I swear, folks, I didn't do that. See, if you got to prop up by providence, James says, you're a liar. If you got to prop it up, not only by providence, if you got to also prop it up by other people, by heaven, or by prayer. He said, you got to do that. You got to do all that swearing. He said, the best thing to do is just commit your life to tell the truth. Commit your life to not just telling the truth, telling the whole truth. Not half truth. A half truth equals a whole lie. Not so quiet. He says this, and nothing but the truth. James says this, as I conclude this letter, is all what you do. To be a good neighbor and to love your neighbor as yourself. Stop lying to them. You don't have to be propped up by problems. You don't have to be propped up by other people. He said it become a pattern for practice. Let your yes be yes. And your no be no. If you ain't gonna do it, just say yes. If you don't want to do it, let your yes be yes, let your no be no. If you don't want to do it, don't try to come out, well, let me pray over it. You lie, you ain't gonna pray over it. If you don't want to do it, just tell me you don't want to do it. Let me pray over it. Y'all know we use that kind of language, don't you? No, we lie. If you ain't gonna do it, just say you ain't gonna do it. I respect that.
Amen.
You don't lie. He said, your pattern of practice is to be truth tellers. And not liars. Give about a couple more minutes, I'll be done. He said, let your yes be yes. And let your no be no. Why, James? It's right in the text. Lest, or so that you will not fall under condemnation. Because there's going to be a day when you're going to have to give an account of every word and every deed that's spoken. And when you're standing for the bema seat of God, and God goes all throughout your life, will God have these words? Will Jesus have these words for you? Liar, liar. That's can we live a life? A life. And here's the reality, ladies and gentlemen. God wants us as the people of God to be truth tellers. Why are preachers and pastors on the same level as politicians and car salesmen? Come on now. Tell it. Because we simply don't. Just sit around a few preachers and pastors. How many folks you got on the dock? Well, we got about 500. We run about 500. When I come to preach, ain't but 30, 40 people. Oh, you know they're on vacation. All 400 of them? At the same time? We live in a land of liars. But that's not just in the pulpit, it's also in the pew. What kind of liar are you? James said, helps us that. There's a calculating, convicting word. It tells us, you be a man or a woman of the word. You know what I like about people here at St. John? They're people of the word. But the man of the word, I can count. He said he's going to do something. He's going to do it. Our deacons are men of their word. EOJs is a man of their word. If they say they're going to do it, it's going to get done. Brother Jackson came and was trying to fix some stuff for me. He said, when I come back, and I'll fix this for him. He's running me down. Calling me every day. I need to come by there now. Well, I'm out of town right now. I'll come by there and let me know. I'll be out later. You ready to be back? No, I'm not back yet. What they tell me is that Brother Jackson is a man of his word. I ain't got to run him down. I ain't got to keep calling him every 30 minutes. I'm like, well, you going to come by and fix it? You going to do this? If you're going to be a man of you, if you're going to be a person that tells the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, you've got to stop lying to folks. Can I close with an illustration? Y'all know I love poetry. And I love Brother Jackson, Dr. Seuss. And I love Dr. Seuss Dr. Cease has these rhymes and these rhythms that just engage me in the poem. And I like green eggs and ham. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. You got it. The Lorax.
Yeah.
But there's one poem that arrested my attention. It's about a story about this elephant named Horton. There's one thing, it's Horton, here's a who, but there's one Horton story, one Horton poem that caught my attention. It's called Horton Hatches an Egg. Y'all need to read that. You need to pull it up on YouTube and get it. Horton hatches an egg. The story starts off by this bird by the name of Maisie. Yeah. Maisie, the lazy bird. And she was sitting on her eggs, and Maisie didn't want to stay on her eggs anymore, and so she wanted to get out. She was tired. Yeah. Horton, the elephant, walks by. Yeah. And Horton, the elephant, agrees to sit on lazy Maisie's eggs until lazy Maisie got back. Right. Maisie stayed on so long. Days passed, weeks passed, months passed, and Horton still sat on the egg. And Horton said these famous words: I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful, 100%. Wintertime came. Storms came. When you wanted to get off those eggs. But you know what Hurst spoke all throughout the story? I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful. 100%. Wintertime comes, snow on the ground, sleet all around, snow on it. You got cold. The Horton was shivering. While Maisie was out on South Beach enjoying the sunshine. Maisie was, Horton was there sitting on the egg. And even when it got cold outside, when the ice came, here's what he said, Brother Johnny. I meant what I said. And I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful. 100%. Springtime came. Come on, man. Rainstorms came. They had these hunters that came, had the guns pointed at his back. And he didn't move. Why? I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful. 100%. I wish we had some believers like Horton. I wish we had some believers, some Christians like Horton, come hell or high water. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. A believer is faithful. 100%.
That's good.
Do you have the attitude of Horton? Do you have the integrity of that elephant?
Come on, man. Come on.
Then no matter what goes on, you're going to be a person of your word. If you say you're going to show up, show up. If you say you're going to do this with your children, do it. Let them be able to count on you. You say you're going to be there. If you're going to tell the truth, don't let it. Don't weave in lies with the truth, with an intent to deceive. If you text somebody and you got to think of how the word to say and how to couch it and how to write it, it may be an indication that you're trying to lie. And I want to tell you what James says. Tell the truth. The whole truth. And nothing else. Father, we thank you today. Come on, praise to you. Give you praise and honor today for this word. It is a convicting and challenging word. Because many of us are understand and realize that we, within us, are liars. Whether it be a broken promise, exaggeration, fabrication, white lies, or bold-faced lies. Are you holding us to a different standard as believers in Christ? We are the ones that need to tell the truth. We are the ones that need to tell the whole truth. We are the ones that need to tell nothing but the truth. So, Father, we repent right now. We change our mind with regard to truth telling. We want to be people of integrity and honesty. We want to be able to be counted on as husbands, as wives, as children, as youth, as pastors, as preachers, as teachers, as leaders. We want to be able to be truth telling. So we thank you for this one. Let's apply it to our lives. In Jesus' name. Amen. You know the church is open to give two invitations. The first invitation is this. In order for you to be a truth teller, you got to get a hold of the truth. Jesus says this, I am the way. Watch this. The truth and the life. No man comes to the Father but by me. In order for you to tell the truth, you got to get a hold of the truth. And it's not about the person, it's about the person. Thank you, Jesus. You come to a relationship with Him. He said, I'll come that you may have life. And you may have it more abundantly. So Jesus says this, listen, the problem is that the reason you don't have life is because you're disconnected from the source. You have no relationship with God through Jesus Christ, you're disconnected. And you're living a life disconnected from God. Here's the reality. When you were born in sin and shaped in the beginning. You came in disconnected because of sin. The Bible says we all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. We came in stamped disconnected. But if Jesus did, Jesus came, died on the cross for you, took all of your sin upon His back. Because He that knew no sin became sin for us. And the price that you had to pay, you were paying, Jesus paid. He paid it all to Him out. Sin is left of crimson stain, but He's washed it by His name. Here's what happened. Because of what He's done on the cross, you can now be connected to God. Jesus, I have the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by me. If you're here today, we want you to come to Jesus just as you are. Get back to God. Second invitation is this.